Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing exceedingly well. I'd like to take the opportunity to heartily welcome in front of you all Ma'am Ananya Singh. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your benign presence today, and most importantly, accepting our proposal to be a part of the first ever episode of the Virtuous Tales under Thrive. We are filled with exuberance to communicate with you today, hoping that this interview adds value to everyone who's watching this video. I'd now hand over the virtual mic to the interviewers for today, Suhani and Kopal.
Greetings. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. With these divine words by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, we would like to present the first edition of Virtuous Tales before you all today.
Felt that you are the only one struggling with your emotions. Fret not, as Thrive has come to your rescue. Thrive, an esplanade to tranquility, is one of a kind heartful maneuver instituted to form a comfortable and safe space for all individuals who are looking for a potential platform to instill coherence, empathy, and liaison. We at Thrive endeavor to build an inclusive community for everyone while invigorating the ones in need and thereby creating a blossoming impact in the lives of many.
With Virtuous Tales, an initiative of Thrive, we attempt to strike candid and incisive conversations with our distinguished and charismatic guest personalities. We aspire to become a helping hand to the unheard souls and aid in their development and sustenance. The strength of the team is its each individual member, and the strength of each member is the team itself. It gives me immense pride to introduce you to the team members of Thrive, without whom we all are mere individuals. Yasahu, the president, Suhani Beriwal, the vice president, Kopal Goyal, the content director, Chakshu Garg and Rupayan Saha, the creative and technical team. We have a very special guest with us today, Miss Ananya Singh, who will be sharing her experiences and insights on mental health. We know this is going to be a very interesting session, so let's give her a warm welcome and get started.
Graduated from the Gargi College, University of Delhi, Miss Ananya Singh went on to pursue MSc in Counseling Psychology from School of Social Work, Roshni Nilay, and is presently working as a qualified counselor in the mental health arena at Adit Kiran Neuropsychiatry Center at Mangalore, Karnataka. Ma'am has over 300 hours of invaluable experience in counseling while specializing in rational emotive behavior therapy, relaxation techniques, group therapy, and individual counseling. Ms. Ananya Singh has interned as a counselor at myriad organizations, including St. Aloysius Pre-University College, Sri Dharmasthal Manjunatheshwar College of Business Management, Lodges Central School, Mangalore, and the SCS College of Nursing. Ma'am's area of expertise lies in stress and anxiety, depression, phobia, anger management, and study skills. She has also bagged the title of the Global Miss International India Universe 2021. On top of that, she's also an ecstatic public speaker and a life coach. We are more than delighted to have you with us today. Before we kickstart the interview, we would like to hear from you, ma'am.
I'm very glad to be here, and it was wonderful to listen to your initiative and to understand whatever your motives are. It's one of a kind, and I wish you all the best for this. And I'm really glad to be here.
After hearing from you, ma'am, I can vouch for the fact that our further discussion is going to be very enlightening, and we all will go back reaping the fruits of this interview.
Yes,
So, we all come across a certain point in life when we realize that this is something we want to pursue. So, what was that point for you? We would like to hear your story of what inspired you to join the field of mental health.
To be very honest, it was COVID. Before this, I was into performing arts. I was into dancing, into performing, and I was basically an artist. But because of COVID, all the events shut down. So I thought of pursuing my master's in the meantime to make full use of COVID. At that point, I felt like I should pursue my interests that I've always had in psychology. So I took up this course, MSc in Counseling Psychology, and that's how my journey began. So I guess it's because of COVID.
That's wonderful to hear, ma'am. I mean, using pandemic for such a great thing, it's really amazing. And so, since you're being in this field for so long, what sort of understanding have you developed of mental health by yourself?
Lots of understanding. First of all, I initially thought that counseling is a little bit, easy to do. It does not take that much. But when I really, dived into it, I understood that there are so many obstacles, especially on personal level. Like I cannot really help my clients if I don't have genuineness within myself, if I'm not congruent in my own ideals, in my own beliefs, in my own perceptions about the world. So I had to go through rigorous training to make myself more credible so that I can help my clients as well. And I came across so many like variety of cases in my journey. It, um, in schools, in colleges, in a psychiatric center. So it was all very new for me, and I learned a lot. So I would love to share my learnings with throughout this session.
That is so great to hear, ma'am. We really appreciate your genuinity in this generation. People often think that the job of a counselor, psychiatrist, and psychologist is the same. So, could you please enlighten us about the difference among the three?
Well, to put it in simple terms, like very simple terms, psychiatrists, in fact, all three are mental health professionals, and we can understand all these three in relation with each other. So, a psychiatrist is a doctor who can prescribe medications, who can treat severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorders, OCD. There are a range of them. A psychologist, on the other hand, cannot prescribe medication but can give diagnosis. They are trained to evaluate, to assess through various tests like intelligence tests, aptitude tests, psychology tests, and they're also trained in giving psychotherapy. In counseling, it is more like somebody who is going through severe emotional distress but is not suffering a major mental illness. So anybody who is facing distress in their day-to-day activities, it could be their work life, their school life, relationships, social settings, it could be anything. So a counselor deals with that. So if anybody thinks that their problem is not that much that they require medication or assessments, they can visit a counselor. If they think that they want to really understand what is happening with them, they want assessments, they want measures to see, they can go to a psychologist. And if they think that they require medication, they can go to a psychiatrist. And all three work hand in hand somehow. Uh, if a person needs medication, it does not mean that they don't require counseling and vice versa. So that's how it is.
Yeah, that was quite very well understandable. And also, you mentioned that before coming into this field, you were more into performing arts. So, how would you relate your work of performing arts with mental health as a concept?
See, performing arts, I'm into it even today as well. It is my personal life, I would say, and counseling is my professional life. And it is very important for me because this is a performing arts is something that is of my own, where I am doing something to make myself happy. So in counseling, when we are counseling others, it is very important for you yourself to know what you like, what you enjoy doing, and constantly make yourself, you know, more, what to say, more confident. So if you're not happy yourself, how are you going to help the client, right? So that is the whole thing. So performing arts has helped me also in understanding that how being active really helps mental health. It's it could be anything. For me, it's like dancing. For others, it could be sports. For somebody else, it could just be an indoor game or working out. So there are so many things. So it really helps mental health. It helps boost good hormones inside ourselves, dopamine, serotonin. So it all has benefits. So that's how it has helped me.
That's really wonderful, ma'am. So, apart from that, I would like to ask you that everybody knows that stress is a very common part of our life today. So, when do you think is the right time for a person to seek professional help? And what if somebody doesn't have that access to therapy? What should they do in such a situation?
Okay. So somebody actually see all of us go through stress, as you said. And experiencing stress is not a bad thing in itself. In fact, we say that there are two kinds of stress. One is eustress, one is distress. Eustress is kind of a good stress which motivates you to, do better. It will make you more alert, more, cautious, but it will also excite you. So that is eustress. Distress, on the other hand, it severely impairs your performance. It could be in any domain of your life. So many people consider experiencing stress as a bad thing, but it is normal. So once we understand that, it will really reduce the stress of experiencing stress itself. Then you ask when should a person visit a mental health professional? So that I would say that there comes a time when we feel that we're not able to manage our situation on our own. Like we've tried everything, we've tried whatever worked before, worked in the past, but it's not helping us anymore. And whatever distress that one is experiencing, it's really hampering their life. It could be their personal life, their professional life, their relationship. So at that point of time, one should consider visiting a professional. And if somebody who does not have access to it, one can always visit their family doctor or their primary healthcare provider, and they can always guide them to, whoever they think can help this person. And of course, now today with internet, you can always Google things and you'll get to know.
That is very well put, ma'am. Even I didn't know there were two types of stress that we were experiencing. Also, I have another question regarding this. Can you talk about some examples from your personal life that can help our viewers to understand that stress can also be positive while harming for some people?
Okay. Again, yes, as you said, stress can be beneficial for some, stress can hamper some people. I think the best example to understand this phenomena is in sports world. Okay, so a person, for example, an athlete. Okay, they are about to participate in a race. Of course, they will experience stress. Their heartbeat will increase. They will be more alert, more, just ready to win this race. So at that point of time, when they're experiencing stress, more oxygen is flowing through their body. All their limbs, their legs are getting oxygen. They're getting ready to prepare for this race. So at this point, stress really helps them by boosting their personal strength. Whereas on the other hand, if a athlete would be like, no, it will be fine. So they're not really stressed about it. So at that time, it can like affect their performance because they're internally they're not like ready. The blood is not flowing in their body, and they are just there. It's not there. So that is one example I can give you. For some people, again, if I consider athletes, they can experience such a severe, debilitating stress that their legs won't move only. Even that can happen. So there's always a line like a stress, as I said, it can be good and it can be bad. So if it is hampering you in any way, that is the time you can consult a mental health professional. So, and yes, this example can be like we can generalize it as well. For example, if somebody is going to give a speech, they might feel stressed, and at that point of time, their mind is active. They're thinking about what to say, what not to say. There's a lot of things going on. So that makes them alert. They are very, they're ready for whatever questions will be asked to them. But in the same way, if the stress is too much, it might just block them off. They won't be able to utter any word only. So that is how stress can play its role in different people's lives.
Yeah, that is pretty clear. And also, can you please tell us if there's any difference among between like stress, tension, anxiety, and nervousness? Because we often hear people say that they're suffering from depression while they're just worried about, let's say, an exam which they have to appear for. So, could you please enlighten us upon the real difference between these terms?
Yes. So, stress is a physical response to a stimuli. Basically, there's a situation and your body is responding to it in a certain way. It could be like, as you said, exam. So, if you have an exam and your initial reaction to it, it's stress. Okay, you're worried about. You're not like thinking it through. It's just that your physical response is quick and it's just there. It's natural, biological. Nervousness is again a physical response to stress. It's what you experience. Like you might experience shivering, trembling, sweating in your palms. You can experience a little bit of headache. So it's both, they go hand in hand. Depression, on the other hand, is something way too different. It's a mental illness actually. So a person experiences hopelessness at that point. Depression is where you can not see your future. It is where you are just you are losing interest in activities which you loved at one point of time. Now you don't want to do it, and you're losing sleep or you're sleeping more, you're losing your energy, you're losing your enthusiasm, even your concentration is getting affected. So depression is a much bigger umbrella, I could say. And anxiety on the other hand is it's like you are having an apprehension that something bad is going to happen. So, for example, again, if I take exams as an example, you are having anxiety that you might fail or you might not do well in your exam. So, that is an apprehension. You don't know for sure whether you will fail or not, but it is that anxiety. And anxiety, you will feel restless, you will have that apprehension. If you have an apprehension, it is anxiety. And many people experience panic as well. Panic is like a full blown, shutdown where you are not able to process things at all. It's immediate. Anxiety is like slow and steady. Panic is like sudden rush of emotions where everything is just blocked. They're very confusing terms to be honest, but yes, if we do like read about it. There are many resources online. You can check it out. It will help you understand better.
Exactly, ma'am. It's very confusing because people interchange these terms and we often get confused on where to use the right term.
Yes.
So, moving on to the next question. We all know you have been taking various counseling sessions, and we could see that you have graduated from Delhi University, and three of our members are currently studying in the colleges of DU. So, how do you think college has helped you carve your career better and contributed to it?
Okay. Like Gagi College in particular.
Yeah, as in Delhi University, Gargi College, what's the environment over there?
Okay, I would say that the environment was pretty open and very what to say. There were so many opportunities. So I actually am from Dehradun, so it's a small city. So when I moved to Delhi, it was just a big world that opened up to me. And DU has so many opportunities with so many societies in it, and like I stayed in a PG, I stayed in a flat, so I learned a lot. And what I learned the most is to be independent. And I also learned to be a bit more daring, I would say. And I was into performing arts even then. So I was a bit of an, like I used to miss a lot of classes. So it was a pretty fun experience. I would not suggest everybody to do that, but I personally enjoyed my time in DU. And yes, how it helped me with my career, you asked, right? I had psychology even then as my minor subject. So I always liked psychology. I had it even in my class 11th and 12th. So even the teachers, they kind of kept my interest alive. And I always thought that, if something were to happen, I would just fall back on psychology. So that backup thing was there in my mind. So that was strengthened during my time in DU.
That's wonderful to hear, ma'am. Also, talking about societies, I saw that you are a skills trainer, you were a skills trainer at Anectus Gargi. So, how
Yes.
was that like? What was your experience?
Okay. Again, I wish I had joined it like way before, but unfortunately, I joined it in the last year of my course. So, Enactus is basically helping, like when I was there at that time, it was helping women to become more empowered. We were training them with certain skills that they can use. For example, making doormats, making jhumkas, making notebooks, like covering them with cloth and drawing. I don't know, it's called quills, right? So we used to teach them that. And we used to sell it also. We used to set up stalls and we used to give this money back to those women. So that is how it helped me. I saw women who needed these skills to feel better about themselves. They felt more confident. I used to see them bring their relatives, bring their neighbors to these camps that we organized. So it was a wonderful experience. I trained them a little bit in making doormats, so that was pretty fun.
Wow, that's quite engaging. Also, I am not from DU. I am pursuing my bachelor's in Bangalore. So, as you can see that in Bangalore, there is no such society culture. So, how can I make the most out of my college life if there is no society in my college in particular which will give me the exposure?
Okay. So, well, there are always classes which are held outside a campus. So, if you can get in touch with, whatever interests you, it could be a dance class or a music class or any hobby that you want. Again, you can use internet. there's everything is available over there, and you can just research, and you can also ask your friends. You can start your own thing as well. We forget that we have the capacity to start our own society. We can do that. So you can try doing that with your friends. You can approach your faculty even if you want this to be serious. So you can check it out. But yes, you can always go outside the campus and seek for whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, I was waiting to ask this question. And basically, as mentioned in the introduction, it was very intriguing to see that you have the title of Global Miss International India Universe 2021. So, could you please throw some light upon your beauty pageant journey and how it helped you get ahead in your career?
Um, I won't say that it helps me directly. It helps me indirectly, I can say. I felt, I mean, it was a very different place for me to be in. So I saw this whole world of glamour from outside. So now I was in that world. So it was very enlightening. I got to know about this world, how to be, how to talk, how to walk, everything. They groomed us properly. And I won. I didn't expect that, but I won. So it made me feel confident. It made me feel beautiful, actually. And I met so many people, and I remember that so many people were nervous behind the scenes, and they were, facing their own struggles. But when they were on stage, they put up such a brave front, all the fellow participants. So it helped me understand that again, there are so many struggles when it comes to the glamour world as well. We see it from outside and we think life is so easy, but it's not. There are many challenges which come with that as well. For me, particularly, I hated the light. It really troubled me a lot. I had severe headaches. I don't know how celebrities do that, staying in front of lights all the time. So yes, it as I said, it helped me indirectly by giving me recognition. I would say people here in Mangalore, they loved me, and they showed their they celebrated my success. So it was really heartfelt. I was very thankful. I'm still very thankful.
That's great to hear, ma'am. Also, you mentioned something about that you had faced issues while you were appearing for this pageant, right? You were under some sort of stress. So, having mentioned this, do you think there's an entire world of mental aspects or stereotypes in the glamour world?
Of course, there are many stereotypes. And in fact, in beauty pageants, we are asked questions related to it, about the stereotypes. Uh, Most of it being that it is, a dirty world. It is somewhere where parents would not want to send their children into. It is very risky. It is, it will spoil people. So there are many stereotypes like that. But again, if you know what you want, if you know what you want to do, if you're clear in your head, there's no point in worrying about these things. So I knew what I wanted. I was there to just learn. I was there to experience it. I was there to have fun. I was there to just make the most out of it. And that I did.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you were definitely well deserved for that title. And we can obviously see that confidence in you, that spark on your face when you speak or go ahead with something, anything. So, yeah. So, since you are also an amazing public speaker, we would like to know if you had an innate skill regarding it, or you just participated more in such competitions while you were in your school or college. So, also, could you share some tips about public speaking and how to use the same to keep a check on their mental makeup?
Okay. Personally, I have always loved speaking, and but yes, I always loved speaking when I had something to read out from. I never liked, just by hearting things, mugging up things, and speaking it. So I think I was always used to it, so it never really hampered me at any point. But yes, I remember initially when I was like in class 3 or 4, maybe, I used to get very nervous. And that is something that I still remember even today, that how nervous I used to be. So yes, practice really helped me to, come out of that fear. Exposing myself to this situation again and again and again, it really makes you resistant. And what else did you ask?
I asked that if you could share any tips regarding this and how one can use this to improve their mental makeup, something like that.
See, the thing is, there are many tips available online. There are many TED Talks. There are so many people, influencers who are out there giving tips. But does it really work when it comes to, people absorbing what is being said? Does it really happen? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That is because for for giving out tips, we have to consider that everybody is at the same starting point, biologically, socially, psychologically, but that's not the case. We have to understand that, like, especially if I'm a counselor and I have a client who has, say, fear of public speaking, I have to really understand where is this fear coming from. Is it because of, fear of judgment? Is it because of fear of failure? Is it because something happened in the past to this client that really, made them feel stupid about themselves? Were they bullied? Were they made fun of when they were presenting something in the past? Or is it, it could be like their teachers are strict, their parents are strict, lot of expectations, lot of burdens. So there are so many things that goes on, behind the scenes. So as a counselor, it is very important to understand that what is going on with the client. Once we understand that, then the tips will be used. Because if I give tips just like that, it you will understand it, people will understand it, but it won't really settle within them. But yes, I could say that, practicing, exposing yourself to the situation again and again, you can really overcome it. Practicing relaxation techniques also helps, where you can, breathe deeply, and you can tell yourself to calm down if you're feeling nervous, and then you can proceed with your whatever you have to say. Then again, many people get nervous because maybe they're not prepared only. So there are so many things. One has to have, clarity in content, what they are going to say, who is their audience. There's a lot of, planning that should be done before they speak. So if that is done properly, one feels confident, one feels competent to deliver whatever they need.
That is very well put, ma'am. I can totally relate to it because sometimes even I fear public speaking. It's not easy, but then I try with the help of my friends and calm myself down. Also, you mentioned that you are also an expert in anger management. So, um, it often happens that some people have short temper, and due to that, they tend to have distorted relationships with people around them. And some of them even tend to make hasty decisions while they are going high on emotions. So, what do you suggest they should do to handle the situation better?
So again, anger is an emotion that is felt by all. We all experience anger, but how we display it, how we manage it differs from person to person. And how we manage it is also learned behavior, like what we've been doing since our childhood, maybe We've seen how expressing anger, maybe our parents, didn't uh, reinforce it. They made us feel that, it's not good to express anger. For some people, maybe they were, encouraged to show anger. There are certain, uh, I would say, groups or certain societies where showing anger is encouraged. So it all, again, everything has a story. We have to really understand where this person is coming from. Yes, but when it comes to anger, there's one thing. There's a lack of, assertiveness. They don't know how else to express themselves. They just know to, get angry. That is the time where assertiveness training really helps, where they can, first of all, recognize that what is their emotion. Because many people, even if they're feeling scared, they'll show anger. Many people, if they're even, feeling hurt, they'll show anger. So people need to really identify what is it they're experiencing, what is it that triggered them, because we have so many triggers. What will trigger me will not trigger you. What will trigger you may not trigger me, or it could trigger us. So there are many things that we need to look into. But yes, one thing that really helps is walking out of that situation. If you think you're going to, just burst out, or if you think you're going to make a hasty decision, you can just take a time out at that point. Just take some time, think rationally what you want, and then get back to it. Also, this box breathing technique really helps. It's a technique where you can breathe in for maybe 4 or 5 counts, then you can hold the breath for 5 counts, then you can exhale for again 5 counts and hold. So it's a continuous cycle where you're holding after every inhalation and exhalation. So that will really calm you. And after that, you can think about what you really want to say. So people who experience anger, it's mostly because they don't know how else to express their emotions. So in counseling, we do teach them, problem solving skills. Like you don't have to experience anger as this, you can just solve it. We can also teach them communication skills, that whatever they're experiencing, how they can put it forward in a non-angry manner. So that's all is taught.
Yeah, that was really helpful, ma'am. These techniques are something that can really help an individual to control their anger and respond in a better way in some situations. So now moving on to the next question, I would like to ask you that is there any special piece of advice that you would like to give to our viewers?
Um, yes, my advice would be to just believe in yourself and never ever let anybody tell you that whatever you're feeling, you should not feel it. Because if you're feeling it, it is there and it is valid. You don't have to, pretend that you're not sad or you're not angry, you're not hurt. Never pretend. And always, if you feel that you are experiencing any emotional disturbance, you can always seek out for help. So that is my advice.
Great advice, Ram, and I'll definitely apply it because some of it feels really personal to me. And I would also like to ask you one thing. What is that one thing that you would advise to your younger self that she had not known before facing the world?
Okay. So I would tell myself, my younger self, to be more, I would say, to be more confident in myself. To know that if something is wrong and if somebody is telling you that no, it's not wrong, you believe in your gut and take help. Never isolate yourself, just thinking that the world has shut down on you. there are always people who are willing to help. We just only need to reach out. It may not be your immediate, maybe it may not be your family, it may not be your friend, but somebody will be there. So you only need to reach out. So that is what I would tell myself.
All right, ma'am, that was really amazing. And this is something that almost everybody thinks when they imagine that what different they would have done in their life or how better they could have done something. It was really amazing how you came up with the answers, and it was really insightful for everybody to hear these things. So, with this, we come to the end of today's much awaited interview with Miss Ananya Singh. I, on behalf of the entire team of Thrive and Esplanade to Tranquility, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Miss Ananya for gracing us with her presence and for such a candid and insightful talk today. It's remarkable how her work has impacted lives in ways that we can only imagine. Also, a big shout out to our founders for their constant guidance and motivation that helped us curate this interview series and smoothly conduct the same. Thanks a bunch once again.